How do I know if a memory is an implant or not?
We can monitor and direct their subconscious, implant suggestions.
It seems the implant can emit some kind of counter signal to ensure the wearer remains unaffected by the waves from the SIM cards.
Valentine's assistant has the same implant scar.
Actually, the explosion was caused by an implant in his neck.
Think about it. Your dream started in the middle of the implant procedure. You're strapped into an implant chair, and I'm monitoring you from the psychoprobe console.
That's her tracking implant. She clawed it out.
The implant will shock it if it gets too close to a perimeter fence.
She has an implant in her back.
Except the implant increases your strength and reaction time. I'm here because I heard that there's a corporation in LA, Contech, that wants to buy the implant.
You proved me right with Dimitri, but then, in the forest, well, I noticed an implant.
Somebody put an implant inside me.
Releasing implant. Now, Raymond, I'm going to drill a tiny hole in the skull, which will allow delivery of the new implant.
I sent a team in, but his memory implant had been blown before they could get to him.
My implant. What?
1 in 20 of these people has an implant.
Implant deactivated. Implant deactivated.
I hope the brain implant would help her.
James, I heard you lost your speech because of the implant.
Brain implant activated.
To implant that on your brain.
An implant? That's a terrible idea. Implant is ready.
You chose the implant and the paycheck.
When survivors pass through this gate, we will implant them with these.
I will implant my memories inside your skull and you will know the truth.
Next, we'll implant a tracking device.
We would implant a tracking device in your arm.
He has no implant, and so we shall have to do this the old-fashioned way, I'm afraid.
At the time of Desert Storm, Dr. Atticus Noyle was working under a research grant from Manchurian Global, developing deep implant behavior modification.
Bannister is the first iTech employee whose implant is left the confines of the corporation.
You motherfucker. Did you really think I was stupid enough to implant one of those things in my own head?
I'm going to activate the implant.
If you want a longer trip, that'll cost you a little more because it's a deeper implant.
And then you put the implant in. It's...
Okay, that magnetic implant is there to monitor the growth of your organs, not serve as a pass key.
We just drill a small hole in Murray's cranium, implant a couple of electrodes, check to see that his motor functions are improved, and then close him right up.
I'm going to tag you with a microlocator implant.
A medical implant attached to the muscle.
Marriage is just a memory implant.
iTech introduces the 9th generation of the Zoe implant. From our family to yours.
Somehow they can implant that,
Mr. White, how's that implant treating you?
If it is not real, why did they implant it in my brain?
They may find an implant.
Target 1 man, Raphael Drummond, moving on a fraudulent implant.
Dr. Grant, what do you mean? I told you they have to implant this chip in my brain.
We're going to test how well Vincent's brain implant has repaired that damage.
Success! Now let us implant the brain!
It's with the implant.
I want the implant under the abdomen.
Instead of a suicide implant.
How about a 22-year-old female with an electronic implant in her brain to control schizophrenia struck by lightning?
We found an implant device. And now Melvin.
Implant deactivated.
And they know they're in their last go-around, so they really gonna come down on us. And they're gonna try to push, they're gonna really try to push that chip. That's their last hurrah, so to speak. The mark of the beast. And like I said before, these different Israelites that are following these different groups of Israelites, the ones that are teaching that the mark of the beast is an embargo in Christianity, they're gonna really start waking up. And then they're going to slowly start listening to what we got to say, man. And I can't stress that enough, man. That's one of the most major, you got major prophecies and minor prophecies, right? A major prophecy is 70 AD. Another major prophecy is when we came over here to serve slavery, all right? Another major prophecy is the mark of the beast. That's a major prophecy. That's one of the most major prophecies of all the prophecies, because that's the last prophecy before the destruction comes. And the chip, the mark of the beast is being administered to people right now. Go ahead.